So today we're going to talk about the vocabulary in mathematics. Now the vocabulary in mathematics is very domain specific, so we really need to be explicit when we're teaching it. We need to make sure that it's student friendly, and so if you're coming up with a definition, sometimes have the students to actually work with you to create that definition. Another thing is put movement to it. Always put movement to it so that they can really embed that into their learning, such as if it's the word sum and it's all together, sum, you're adding them all together. And then always give examples and non-examples. We want to make sure that you put that in, you give them examples so they know what they're looking for, but you give them non-examples so they know, oh, that's not it. And then have them to draw examples and have them to draw non-examples. That's really important for our students. Another thing is always teach vocabulary daily. So making sure that the student has multiple exposures to the vocabulary daily is important to embed that understanding of that word. Now remember, like I said, it's domain specific. So we want to stress the relationship of the words in it. So like terms and terms, knowing what they are, you're going to talk about those. And if you get into it, you're going to make sure that the student can pronunciate the word. So if I'm introducing the lesson, I'm going to say, okay, so let's introduce the word. It is like terms. Now, yesterday we talked about terms, and remember what the definition was for terms. And can somebody show me a definition for terms? And so they could really quickly just pop up a definition for you. Or you may have them to point to the definition if they're nonverbal. So that's another way that you could do that. So introduce the word, and then, like I said, have them to try to pronunciate the word also, because sometimes they cannot pronunciate that word, and so we need them to make sure they can do that. And then discuss the type of word that it is and the definition after you've come up with a good student-friendly definition, and talk about all the parts of that definition, because if you talk about parallel lines, it's two lines. They never touch, right? They do not intersect, and they go on and on and on forever. So there's three parts to that. And so you talk about all three parts, and does it fit that description? So in our case, we're going to use the word like terms. And today, so I'm going to introduce the word. I'm going to talk about the definition of the word. And so for this one, like terms are those terms whose variables. And what's a variable? Again, we've had this before. A variable is something that stands in the place of a letter, of a number. So we talk about that. And then we talk about the fact that it can also be exponents. And then they are the same. So they are like each other. So a good example is 5x and 3x. They share the same variable, so they are like terms. And then I give them a non-example. 5x and 5y are not like terms. So making sure that we give them examples, non-example, we're very explicit in it. We have them to have a student-friendly definition that they can use. And then I practice it daily with them. And like I said, I've said before, you can use things of, I'm going to show you an example, thumbs up, thumbs down, is this that vocabulary word? And so you show them several examples, and there can be examples and non-examples, and it's a thumbs up. Yes, that example shows the definition for like terms. No, that definition does not. And so you just keep on going through to show those examples. So that's how we can do vocabulary, making sure that our students are understanding it. So